Would you like to comment on that?
And another partnership that we have with Google in terms of how do farmers, and this is in the area of response, how do smallholder farmers respond when there is adverse event, but also because of fantastic work that's being done in India, whether it's digital identity, data exchange, which is interoperable but also safe and privately managed, farmer advisories in their own language can actually help them prevent themselves from either pests, but also advisory in terms of how can they increase their produce and how can they be more profitable. Mm-hmm. So it is advisory for climate disaster, advisory in terms of productivity as well as profitability, and some of the extremely path-breaking work that's being done across states. And it can lead to increase in GDP. So it is not only about disaster management, but also in terms of how can you proactively increase profitability of people who are towards the end of the spectrum.
Mr. Lokesh, let me ask you, there are cynics who say that in a country like India, AI might be bad news. We are an agrarian economy to a large extent. We do rely on manual labor. If you do have AI, then there could be a concern about jobs going away. And yet, you speak about the benefits of AI. Can these work together?
I mean, if you look at it, jobs are under threat, but they're typically the white-collar jobs.
Yeah.
I think and every industrial revolution has shown that it creates more jobs than what people lose. History shows that. So I don't believe that AI will reduce the number of jobs, but I think it will change the order of jobs. And then I believe the jobs that are going to get created in the next decades are going to be in areas that we're yet to discover. And that puts a lot of pressure on HRD ministers like me who are trying to figure out the curriculum and the entire ecosystem. Saying that, fundamentally AI is here. It's going to change our lives. And as a government, we are looking at how can we expose women to basic AI tools, students to basic AI tools, because farmers to basic AI tools. I think that can fundamentally transform their lives. It can double their income in certain use cases. So just giving them that access and exposure alone can transform the way they're living.
Do you mind if I say something?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think it's undeniable that AI is going to disrupt. And so you can either choose to be disrupted or the disruptor. And what I think is so incredible about what the minister has just said is by taking a proactive approach, particularly to education and upskilling, you're enabling your people to be the disruptors and to be the ones driving that job creation.
So I would say more is better, is probably the way we look at it.
Let me just sort of put across a rather basic question to you, Mr. Lokesh, because this is being broadcast to a lot of people who may not understand the nuances of large language models. If you've got AI solving all your problems or your queries, then where is the education? It's not the way that we've learned education. We've had to study. We don't use Grok, as I do, to sort of get answers to questions. My research as a news anchor has gone down, time spent to a few seconds from a few hours. It helps immensely, but then if you've got an entire generation of people who don't have to do the hard work, then are we not missing something? I mean, creativity doesn't come from AI. Creativity comes from the way we've been educated. Yeah, exactly. Your thoughts?
I mean, you've answered the question in that sense.
Shall we move on?
You answered the question. See, the problem in India is we look at outputs and not outcomes in education. And that's the fundamental shift you're going to see what Andra Pradesh is going to do. So outcome-based education.
Right.
We'll have time to, we'll be able to free up time for the students to actually critically analyze things, to look at things in a very systematic manner, to answer the questions that otherwise wouldn't have been. Because today I look at my own child, and the questions that he asked me, I'm like, really? I mean, he's 9 years old. I'm like, it never even occurred to me till my teens.
Right.
I mean, they are learning fast, and they love to be challenged. I think the LLMs and the AI models enable them to be challenged even better.
Yeah.
And I think that's the role. Again, do you want to be disrupted or you want to be the disruptor? I think
Would you
Andra
like
will
to-
be the disruptor in this case.
Would you like to add to my query on AI versus the education, the style of education we were educated in?